So Deputy Laura, I can't tell people not to stand next to Vashon because she's going to be out. She's under the weather. I'm like, what's going around? You were under the weather? One day. I told her to try something else other than what she's been trying. So we'll see if it works. So, all right, everyone. Today is Thursday. If everyone could have a seat. Everyone have a seat. I'm going to call the docket. When I call your name, please let me know you're here. Otherwise, I'm going to assume you're not here and a warrant may be issued for your arrest. In custody, we have Didini Yarborough. I'm going to learn how to pronounce that when they come out. Terrence Scott, Roland Diaz, Jesus Perez, Fallon Medina, Christopher Robles, David Garcia, Ariel Reyes, Thomas Pauly, Juan De Hoyos Garcia, Jose how do you pronounce that? Manjares. Jose Manjares, Renee Garza. Thank you. In custody, we have David Hernandez, John Sanchez. Thank you. Christopher Morrison. Here. MC Reed. MC Reed.
Council President, on that one, Judge, we filed a motion for continuance. He has COVID. We attached the medical document to
All
that.
right.
I can put that document.
And is MC just the initials or do they stand for something?
I haven't asked him that, but I have asked if those his initials. Not his initials, that is his first name.
Ah.
And then middle name C, then Reed.
Okay, we need to find out where that comes from. I'm always interested in that. All right, once I finish with docket, I'll take that right up. Melvina Kane. Melvina Kane. In custody, Tyree Ranford, Lee Galindo. Here. Nicholas Borja. Borja. Nicholas Borja. Clarissa Shepard. Anthony Maciel. Anthony Maciel. Dwayne Hardaway. Dwayne Hardaway. Ricky Perez. Ricky Perez. Justine Summy. SUMY.
Council President, on that one, Judge, she has an active warrant. Pretrial hasn't been able to get a hold of her. I haven't spoken to her in over a month and not since she basically went AWOL.
All right, we'll take that up too with your other case. Lisa Pryor. Lisa Pryor. Christina Allman. Aleman. Thank you. Christina Aleman. Gabriel Sosa. Kevin Carell. Kevin Carell. Michael Ugwe. How do you pronounce your last name? Ugu. Okay, thank you. Derek Reyes.
President, Your Honor.
Thank you. Jose Sanchez, custody. Laura Gallegos, custody. Courtney Kretzer. Thank you. Thomas Blinko. Thomas Blinko. Oh, not to be present in court. And in custody, we have Christopher Balcazar and Jonathan Dash. Is there anyone present whose name was not called? Yes, what is your name? Do you know who your attorney is? Yes. Do you know your case number or SID number? All right, we'll get with you in just one moment. Anyone else whose name was not called? All right, these are the rules of the court. Criminal trial division files are here. Family violence files are here. Attorneys, just grab your file, place it on the prosecutor's desk. They'll call you in the order of appearance. If you have someone who wishes to speak in a language other than English, you'll need to ask for an interpreter. Do not approach the court coordinator for resets or continuances. I'm the only person who can give that to you. Do not place items on the court reporter's desk. Do not touch her equipment. If you do and you break it, you bought it. That equipment costs over $10,000. Vashon is not here with us today because she's out under the weather. But who do we have? Sorry? Rodriguez. All right. Cielo Rodriguez. Do not crowd her desk. That is her office. Do not put your items on her desk. Do not sit at her desk. Do not turn your back to her while she's sitting because she doesn't have a good view. If you put your items on her desk or sit on her desk, I will make it my mission to come down to your office at an opportune time. I will put my items on your desk and I will sit on your desk. This door here, everyone knows that's where the inmates come out. The deputies are in charge of security. Please do not get in their line of vision. If something happens and you get injured because you are in their line of vision, I will write an affidavit on their behalf stating that I told you not to do that. If you have a client who's in custody, yes, they need to be called out. Do not approach the court if you have not conferred with the state and conferred with your client. Once you have done those things, if you wish your case to be called, just approach the clerk. She will put your file up here and we will discuss it. So everyone, today is a beautiful day because it's Friday's Eve. We are so close to the weekend. So confer with kindness, be kind to each other, put a smile on your face. It will brighten everyone's day. So everyone, please confer. And Mr. Perez, I will see you. Okay. So Justine Summy.
Yes, at one point she did contact me. She had notified me that she was getting into Haven for Hope and she had just gotten residency there. She gave me a good number to give it a contact and then that number was disconnected. I shortly after got calls from pretrial saying that yes, that's where they had her, but now Haven for Hope is now saying that she's not there anymore. So
Okay.
I don't know where she is.
Caroline, on this case with Justine Summy,
Yeah.
is that a PR bond?
Yes, it was a PR bond, but she already has a warrant.
On this case?
Yeah,
All
just
right.
for lack of contact with pretrial.
All right, state on Justine Summy, and this is criminal trial division. She already has a warrant on this case and she has not appeared.
Okay, yes, for a bond forfeiture. Judge?
Oh, she already has the warrant. Yeah, that's okay.
Another
You want to do a double one? Yeah, let's do it twice. All right, thanks.
Thanks, Judge.
A double super bond. That's the state's recommendation, Judge, a double super bond.
Hey, there you go. All right, so let me go to that. Let me find her on the docket sheet very quickly. All right, and then on your client's MC Reed.
Yes, Judge,
Medical
if
issue.
you see the back page, the doctor's note saying that he has COVID. And I was able to briefly speak to him, but as much coughing as he was doing, he wasn't able to have much of a conversation.
All right, if you want to still confer with the states, you can. And then I will give you a reset date. And if for some reason, if this case works out and it's a probation, if your client is still feeling under the weather, he can appear by Zoom. But let me give you a court date for him.
And I did confer with the state prior to this, Judge.
Okay. Do you have all the discovery?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. And on this, you don't necessarily have to file a motion for continuance because it's not up for trial just yet because this is a first setting. So I won't let you burn a motion for continuance unless you want to burn one.
No,
Okay.
just trying to play by the book.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Caroline, can we put this on October 19th?
Yes.
All right, we'll recall it for October 19th. That should give him a chance to hopefully be cured.
Yeah, so it's less than 2 weeks now, but. who knows?
Okay,
Maybe excuse, Judge.
yes.
Thank you.
And you'll get that information to him
Yes, Judge.
and find out what those initials mean, or if
Yeah.
they're just MC.
It is just MC, but I don't know why.
Was he born in the early 90s? MC Hammer,
Maybe,
90s or 80s?
I don't think so. He's an older gentleman. I don't. think
Because
so.
you know, usually the people who their name is Brandy,
Yeah.
those are usually 70s babies.
That's funny.
Oh, he was born in
There you
66?
go. I was about to say, I was like.
Oh, well, I don't know then.
You know what? Maybe MC Hammer got his name from.
There you go.
There we go. That's the way I'll say it.
There's.
Caroline, can you see if this case is closed? Yes, okay. And Caroline, can you make sure Norma gets that one so that she can get her evaluation? Deputy Mejia, have you seen Ken Porsche? I'm gonna keep saying it to you. You're like, I'm tired of her asking me that. I'm just gonna break down and watch it. Deputy Lord, did I steer you wrong on Vincenzo?
No, that was good.
Yeah. See, so would I steer you wrong on Ken Porsche? No.
How long is Ken Porsche?
I want to say it's maybe 14 episodes. One. Well, I will tell you, it's people are begging for a season 2, but it's just one season. But if you look at the old shows, for example, Perry Mason, their season 1 would be about 36 episodes. They didn't take a hiatus. There were no cliffhangers. I think the first program that ever had a cliffhanger was Dallas. And then you were like, oh my gosh, who shot JR? And then when you finally figure out who shot JR, you're like, what are we waiting for this? And then when they came back after they were on hiatus, the first episode, they still didn't tell you who shot JR. I think it was maybe on the 4th episode, you're like, oh, it's Sue Ellen's sister. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope I didn't. Spoiler alert. Sue Ellen's sister shot JR. So.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I don't know more details. It's a happy place to be, and I found it. I'm actually surprised. Honestly, that is That's fine. That actually is great. You have one of the most.
Hello, Nicholas Borja. Oh, well, we need to call him on record. Is he on commercial bond?
Yes.
Have you called the bondsman?
Not today.
Do you want to call the bondsman and see if you can get in contact with him before I hear whether or not a warrant should be issued?
I'll try.
All right. Yes. Good morning. Okay. Yes. Yes. All right. You're welcome. Okay, Deputy Laura, we can do our book club thing on Friday. We'll see if Michelle makes it. I know. Yeah. Hey, but time you say don't let her stay, it comes back.
Oh.
It all starts coming
Did
back
she
to
let her see?
you. So Friday, we're doing it.
See, I haven't left it here, so I will.
Yeah, Friday, we're doing it, everybody. We're doing it Friday. Yes. Yeah, we're doing it. And then we'll move on to the inmate. And Janisa recommended another book. So after we do the inmate, I guess we could see about her book.
We first had to finish this one first, I mean, because this one's like been done. And I've been letting the inmate cook on top of my dresser.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't touched it because I want to get yelled by.
Caroline and everybody else. But we're gonna try. Oh, just 1 second. Hello? Yes, it is. Yes. Hey.
Squeezing it in, Judge.
Hey, I like, look at you doing double duty, multitasking.
Okay. I'm told I have to be back by 9:40, so we're gonna see
Okay.
if we can make this work.
Oh, yeah, let's make it work. Melvina Kane. Melvina Kane. Nicholas Borja. Michael Maciel. Dwayne Hardaway. Ricky Perez. Lisa Pryor. All right, thank you. Christina Alamon. Christina Alamon. Gabriel Sosa. Kevin Carell. All right.
Yeah.
Didani? Ah, okay. I'll remember how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Somehow. Same time. It was fun. I bet. Yeah, so it was one of them. One is going to be. Well, yeah, I don't know. The, the,
Is it? Wait, is it? Yours? Yeah, that's me.
Part of why it's supposed to come back from very short turnarounds. Yeah, I think. I don't know. It's like I see those. I'm just trying to. So they're. Oh, I was. That's the answer about the audio. On is the mic.
You think it, I think it did, I'm not sure.
By the way,
Yes.
with Victor. Played it for him. So. While he's gone, yeah. Oh, awesome. Still there. Yeah, he's still living on the back. Let's go back on that. Yeah, as far as I can tell, the last night. There's an so I think what we behind this house.
he's able to like either they have to translate or translate.
And on this one, Caroline, he showed up. You see on Ricky Pettis? And where is Ricky Pettis? Okay, thank you. All right. Have you tried contacting pretrial services?
I will contact them next year.
Oh, it's behind the line.
I apologize.
That's okay. All right, can I have a prosecutor? We're gonna go on the record. The court is calling 2023 CR 7219 and 2023 CR 7220, State of Texas versus Ricky Pettis. Can I have the parties announced for the record for the state
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
defense?
Christopher Simpson for the defense.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 9:39 a.m. Deputy Laura, did you make an announcement for Ricky Pettis?
Yes, Your Honor, I did. There's no answer in the hallway.
All right, counsel, have you had any contact with your client?
The number that I was given was not correct. I will contact internal services to see if they have had any contact or provide me. The number that I was given on the order of appointment was not.
Okay,
valid.
so stop. You're mumbling and you're not speaking.
I'm sorry.
And you're speaking very quickly. Court reporter cannot hear you.
I said the number on the order of appointment was not operational, not his number,
Not operational, not what?
not his number.
Okay. All right, state.
Your Honor, state asked for a bond forfeiture this morning.
All right, it's a PR bond, so the court will issue a judge's warrant, remand your client without bond. If your client makes an appearance, the court will reconsider.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Diana, did you get that? Yes. Mhm. Okay, so when is? Okay, so that's what's happening with him today? All right. All right. All right, state. On his client, Mr. Dash,
Yes, ma'am.
he's informing that's gonna work out.
Yes, ma'am.
So of course he has jury duty.
Yes, ma'am.
So when you all get the paperwork ready, are you all able to take it down to him or something?
Yes, ma'am. So it's an MTR judge, so I think I was just gonna email the prosecutors down in County Court 14 to do the JSAT.
Okay,
So you do the JSAT, and then what we can do probably here is just withdraw alternate.
I think so. Let me
I don't
check
know
with
that we have to
probation
even
because
do
we're,
anything with the court.
all right. If you all want to talk to the probation officer very quickly and see if they're okay with that.
yes,
And could I see the file on Mr. Dash?
We confirmed the process with probation. They said that's fine. And so they just offer them and withdraw.
All right.
You don't have to worry about putting on a record up here.
And you're amending to what, though?
90 days ISF.
All right, Mr. Dash. Can you come down, please? Probation, what's the wait time for ISF? All right, so Mr. Dash, they're wanting to withdraw this motion to revoke and alternate amend conditions to include ISF. You understand that? So can you tell me, is there a reason why you're not doing what you're supposed to do on probation?
They just put me on regular probation out of the drug court. When I was in the drug court, they told me I didn't have to do the.
All right, could everyone whisper? And I'm sorry, could you speak up?
I go put on regular probation from drug court about maybe 3 or 4 months. I had my ID stolen. I'm not trying to make excuses, Your Honor. I just have trying to get my ducks in a row. Having issues with my marriage. This is what's going on. I do apologize. I had no intention on coming in here, having this case brought. This new charge, which I would, if advised, I would fight it. But I'm advised this.
No, I mean, no, here's the thing. If you want to fight a case, you're more than welcome to fight a case. The court will hear it.
It's gonna cost me more time, Your Honor.
No. I don't do that. It's going to cost us more time. If somebody wants something heard, we will hear it and I will put it on the docket before you go to ISF. If you want to have a contested hearing on this motion to revoke, we can do it. And I will set it in 2 weeks and we will hear your motion to revoke. Is that what you want?
No, Your Honor.
If I can, on behalf of Mr. Dash is currently homeless. He also has some mental health issues. His original probation had recommendations from McMyoff. And there was some other
No,
conditions on
I
that.
see that on the record.
So we're trying to get him back into, get all his meds going again, and we got a little destabilized. He's got a pending case in County Court 14.
Okay.
That's the one he's talking about. If he had his brothers, he would probably want to fight it, but he understands also that can't bond out.
Okay, so I'm
So
trying
that's
to
why we
I'm trying to understand how ISF is going to help him with mental health issues. Or is that just we're saying, hey, he needs to be punished a little bit, maybe ISF cognitive?
I think the cognitive track is because he was having some issues trying to understand and follow the rules that were on drug court
Okay,
and in regular probation. And we think that will help him try to align so that he can do those things.
all right, probation, ISF cognitive. If someone has mental health issues and must be on medications, will they be able to facilitate that or no? All right. All right, so you're okay with them withdrawing the motion and alternate amend conditions to ISF cognitive?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and who's the complainant in the number one?
It's a gentleman named Brewer, Rod Brewer. I've been in contact with him, Judge. I haven't asked him about this particular outcome, but I think it's a good way to resolve the issue.
All right, so it's Rod Brewer?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
May I confirm, are we talking about state ISF or the Bear County ISF?
Just cognitive.
Cognitive?
Yes.
For Bear, he will not be able to get his medications there
Okay.
because we don't have the nursing staff to provide.
That's-
State ISF, yes.
And what is the wait time for state ISF?
I would have to bear.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, that would be a problem.
Okay.
He's got some serious psychic troubles.
All right, so it would be state ISF. And they're going to see what the wait time is.
Yes.
And then, I also can put in here see if, while he's waiting for state ISF, to see if felony drug court will accept him back.
That'd be great.
If you want to, you'll probably have to call and see if they'll accept him back. But Mr. Dash,
No.
oh, he's saying no?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Dash, sometimes people want to take the easy way out in their life. And then when they take the easy way out, other things end up happening. I know that felony drug court is a great program. They would have helped you with your medications. Is it a difficult program? Yes. Do they have something for you to do every day? Yes, which in life, you should be doing something every day, hopefully learning new things. But then you'll be headed to state ISF. They're going to tell me what the wait time is. I think it's longer than 2 to 3 weeks. And then we'll do the no contact with Mr. Rod Brewer.
I think that's an issue. No. No. I think it's something.
And from here on out, I know your attorney is saying that there are certain things that you don't understand, but what you need to understand, you're on deferred adjudication for a 3rd-degree felony. So if you get revoked, you're looking at 10 years in the prison. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
1 to 2 months after medical clearance.
So that's 1 to 2 months that you'll be at the Bexar County Jail waiting to go to state ISF. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that what you prefer over being referred back to felony drug court? I mean, it's up to you. I don't know why people have an issue with felony drug court. I used to be an attorney in felony drug court, and I will tell you, felony drug court is hard. Yes, I know people, sometimes lay people think like, oh, that's so easy. He's being sent to felony drug court. But felony drug court is very hard. But I do know that felony drug court helps you with housing, helps you get your medication, helps you get your ID. All of this stuff that you're saying that you couldn't get done, felony drug court will do that. But felony drug court is not going to let you go over there and pretend like all is right with the world and you're not really working on your problems. But otherwise, they're saying alternate amend conditions to include.
What I will tell you was Mr. Dash's main problem with felony drug court,
Mhm.
at least from what he's told me, is that he was having to go and do UAs like literally like 5 times a week.
Yeah.
He's homeless. That's like $55 a week. that
Well,
he's
here's-
spending on UAs that he just doesn't have.
I will tell you, felony drug court, if you tell them you don't have the money for that, they will work with you. They will defer the fees on that. Felony drug court, if you tell them that you're homeless, they will help you get a place to stay.
That's his issue.
Now-
And knowing that, he's just told me that he would go back to felony
Yeah.
drug court.
And I will tell you, sometimes when you're homeless, they will say you're staying at Haven for Hope. Sometimes people don't like Haven for Hope, but guess what? It's either you're going to stay at Haven for Hope, or either you're going to live on the street, because sometimes that's all they have. So I'll allow for the motion to be withdrawn. Probation, we're going to alternate amend conditions to include state ISF, but also a re-referral to felony drug court. And if felony drug court doesn't accept him, just keep him in line for state ISF. And counsel, you'll have to talk to felony drug court.
Who's a good contact for the judge?
The court coordinator is Diana Zamaroon. And
Okay.
also, Judge Glenn is the judge over there. But if you ask Caroline, she'll be able to give you the information, or either Norma.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Is there anything else you need from me, Mr. Dash?
No, Your Honor.
All right. And probation, there's going to be no contact with Rod Brewer. I'm assuming that's Brewer. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll help get his meds. The felony drug court.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Enjoy jury duty.
This is Rios. Garcia, it's 2021. 7270. Good morning, Judge.
All right. Good morning. Esteban Ramirez Frosto.
The interpreter thing's still setting up there.
Okay, sure. And Mr. Dash, probation will speak with you and go over conditions with you. All right, after Mr. Ramirez, it's going to be Christopher Morrison, then Renee Garza.
Doesn't matter, probably for about 10 seconds. It's
Yes.
Kind of quick.
Okay, sure. Ms. Ferguson will give you the date.
Thanks.
All right, you're welcome. Okay, thanks. All right, and Mr. Sawyer, if you'll let your client know, though.
He's in custody. I'm waiting to bring him up and I'll tell him what's going on, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, court is. We're here on Esteban Frosto Ramirez. And we have an interpreter. All right, so on September, the state was to provide jail calls today. Did they present? Well, in September 19th, did they provide those?
They did, Judge. I think our delay is, while my staff who speaks Spanish has been through the calls and identified the 2 calls that contain potentially exculpatory information. The state has not had a chance to listen to them or get them interpreted. I have forwarded them the 2 calls to try to expedite their process of digging through that. And so that's kind of where we're at. They need to look at this exculpatory information and hopefully that resolves the case.
All right, well, it's going to be expedited. Ms. Ferguson, reset this for the 2nd week in October, and the court will not extend any further plea deadline dates. All right, we'll be back on October 12th. Mr. Ramirez, do you have any questions?
No, everything's over here.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah, thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes. Yes. I like the treasure hunt.
Thank you, Ron.
You're welcome. Have a great day. Who's here on Christopher Morrison?
Morning, Your Honor.
All right, where is your client?
He's right here.
He stands in the center, counsel. All right, today is your plea deadline date. What's going on?
Judge, so we were informed by defense that there's significant discovery that's missing. I've been looking through and I'm about to contact the detective to let her know. There was an evidence report that shows a lot of evidence that should have been any discovery that we don't have. So I'm reaching out to her to see what's going on there. And then I think there's also some communication that's going to be going on with Daryl Harris regarding Veterans Treatment Court. That's something that we are looking into.
All right, I'm giving you all one final plea deadline date. Veterans Treatment Court, if they're going to be placing him in Veterans Treatment Court, they need to do it by this date. Otherwise, this is moving towards a trial. Ms. Ferguson, can you put this for the 4th week in October, please? Yeah.
If we get any more time than that, Judge, we would appreciate it. It's going to involve trying to coordinate with different federal agencies in the VA to make sure that they have all the information they need.
That should be easily done. He should have his letter that they need to show that he was actually in the military. It actually doesn't take that long. All right, what date, Ms. Ferguson? All right, October 26th will be your plea deadline date. You all need to confer off docket.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks,
All
Judge.
right, and if you all want to contact Mr. Herman today, then I suggest you contact him today. He is available to come up here.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Renee Garza. Who's the attorney for Renee Garza? All right, you just have to wait till they come.
I appreciate it. Happy house.
Oh, sure. You're welcome. All right, thank you. Have a good one. Jose Sanchez. And Diana, who's that has that cough that doesn't sound good? Yeah. All right. Yes.
Sorry to delay, Judge. We have a witness here from Alpha Heights. I think that's the move is to bring her up first. Right?
Yeah,
Or
Judge.
you have a motion too.
Well, by way of background, Judge, last time the court had.
Set a hearing for a video
Yeah, and
purge.
wanted to specifically know when that video was destroyed, so.
Yes.
So the state reached out and said, asked them that question. They sent 3 officers, including Detective Pruitt. I think it's a Detective Pruitt.
Yeah, I think it's
Deputy Chief Pruitt, none of which can answer the question. There is somebody that can. His name is Marcos. And asked him, well, why isn't Marcos here? And they said,
Well, let's find out.
they're not going to send him without a subpoena. That's what they said. So she's here. I'd like to get that on the record.
All right, well, let's please do what we do.
Okay, so do you want to call Deputy Chief?
I guess so. Yeah.
Hello. All right, we're waiting for them to come in. Do you have,
Mr. Garcia, Judge, we just had a motion withdraw.
withdraw?
The MTR.
All right, we need to have a hearing on that because I don't know if I'm going to sign the motion to withdraw because it appears he keeps picking up cases.
That is the allegation, Judge, but I know the state's looked at it to see what they could allege, what they could prove up.
Okay, so let me just do this hearing first and then I'll take this up.
Okay, Judge.
All right.
I apologize.
And if you need, oh, no problem. If you need to run to another court, you're more than welcome to do that.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's fine.
All right, court is calling 2022 CR 10. Oh, she doesn't have to be unless she wants to sit. Court is calling 2022 CR 10642 State of Texas versus Jose Sanchez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state.
Defense?
Eric Baker for Mr. Sanchez, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Sanchez? All right. The reason we are here is the defense alleges and your client alleges that there was a video in a holding cell of your client and it is potentially Brady
Yes, Your
with regards to this case. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor. Yes.
All right. State, are you prepared to proceed?
We are, Your Honor.
Defense, are you prepared?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state, do you have any witnesses?
Well, it's really, I guess more of a defense witness.
Yes, I'll take it. I wouldn't mind taking the lead if the state's okay. And
All right. Who would you call?
we would call
Deputy
Deputy Chief Pruitt of the Alamo Heights Police Department.
All right. Deputy Chief, if you could raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand. Just make sure you keep your voice up for the court reporter. If you could state your name for the record, please.
Cindy Pruitt.
All right, defense.
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy Chief Pruitt, thank you for coming in today. So, Deputy Chief, the video that the court was talking about, you're aware of what video that we're talking about, correct? That we're looking for?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, before we get into that, I just want to ask you, when we initially asked for this video, we got word back from your department that there are no videos taken in that area of the department. Were you the one that conveyed that information to Mr. Wilkins?
No, I'm not sure what you mean. There are no videos taken.
So the first request to your office from Mr. Wilkins requested the video that we're talking about today. And my understanding is that your understanding that your office replied back that there was no videotape in existence. In fact, there was no videotape equipment to videotape at all. Was that your response from the office?
No, that wasn't my response. And in fact, I didn't respond to that. I'm not sure. Do you have the response you're questioning
Okay,
about?
the state has your email, but I'll move on. I wanted to know if you're aware of that.
All right, and counsel, so that the record can be clear. When you speak of video, what video are you talking
Yes,
about?
the video of Mr. Sanchez upon his arrest when he was in the holding cell or near the holding cell in Alamo Police Department. You aware of that video?
I'm aware that that video doesn't exist because it was purged from the system. Yes.
Okay. And one of the main question, this isn't our first time here, maybe your first time here, ma'am, is the court had a question, and I think I did too, as to when that video was destroyed. Or do you have personal knowledge as to what day it was destroyed?
No, we attempted to recover the video, but we don't have any way to determine when it was destroyed because it's a surveillance system that is on a loop. And as new video comes in, because it runs 24 hours a day, it's a very small server. The older video purges off and it just is replaced by the new videos.
You can't testify today as to when that video was purged, correct?
No, sir, I cannot. I can testify to the fact
That's just a
that,
yes or no question, ma'am.
no, sir.
Ma'am, I just talked to you in the back, correct?
Yes,
We talked about, I asked you, is there anybody who can make that determination or tell the court? We spoke about someone named Marcos, correct?
that is correct.
And when I asked you, and you sent an email to Mr. Wilkins yesterday or 2 days ago, I'm sorry, no, yesterday and Wednesday, that he would not be,
Counsel, if you could slow down.
certainly, that he would not be in attendance today. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And when I asked you why back in the back, you said somebody made the decision that if he wasn't under subpoena, they weren't going to send him. Is that correct?
His leadership for his company made that decision, yes.
So he's really the witness we need to talk to today, not yourself, correct?
Well, there is his supervisor is available today by phone.
Can you come in?
I just found this out right before I came in here. They said they would make him available by phone.
Does he have knowledge of what we're looking for in the background so that we don't have to start over with him?
Yes, he has knowledge, yes.
Okay. When could he come in physically?
No, that I don't know. I didn't ask him.
Is he available to appear by Zoom?
I believe he's with an IT company that is our vendor.
All right, counsel, would you have any objections to him appearing by Zoom?
I would not, Judge. I just want to make sure that, I know that Marcos has information. I'm just curious as to why we can't produce Marcos. His supervisor is going to be a level up. And Marcos has hands-on.
Well, is Marcos available to appear by Zoom or does he want to?
When I spoke with his supervisor just a moment ago, Your Honor, he was directly involved with the process with Marcos. And he is a higher level IT technician than Marcos even is.
All right, so the defense wants Marcos here. Is that correct?
I think Marcos and his supervisor, Judge, just based on the history of this case, Your Honor.
All right, so I like to cut through the chase. Is Marcos and his supervisor available today by Zoom?
I would have to ask, Your Honor. I asked if they could be available by phone, and he gave me his phone number and said that he was. I didn't ask about Zoom.
All right, does anyone mind us taking a short break so she can see if they're available by Zoom?
Not at all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mr. Yarborough. Hello. Oh, I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
Doing well.
Just give me one moment. All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 8978, State of Texas versus
Didani Yarbrough.
Didani Yarborough. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Second for the state.
Suzanne Defense.
Kramer for Mr. Yarbrough.
And are you Mr. Yarborough?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you entered a plea of burglary of a habitation with intent to commit felony force. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. State is silent on your application, and this will run concurrent with 6-9-6403. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, Judge.
Defense?
Yes, Judge.
Any objections to the PSI report, state?
Nothing for the state.
Defense? All right, Mr. Yarborough, you entered a plea on August 21st of no contest. I reviewed the stipulations. I'm unsure if it was said on the record, but I believe it was by Judge Angelini. The court is finding that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court is deferring finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. State is silent on your application. Defenses, do you have any witnesses?
No, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, I believe the PSI speaks for itself. It speaks to the love that his family has for this. I have had many conversations with Mr. Yarbrough about him needing to, that you're gonna want an explanation for what was he thinking that day, because he's basically a good kid. You know, he doesn't get into trouble, and he, you know, he's been taking full responsibility for all of his actions, and I think he's a great candidate for deferred adjudication probation on this, especially when the complainant forgives him, doesn't want him, is fine with him getting probation, and kind of wants them back in their lives, although there isn't no contact with her. But she doesn't have the child, she's the grandmother. So he said it's okay if you keep that no contact while he's on the deferred.
All right. Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
D. Donna Yarbrough.
All right. So before I begin asking you questions,
Yes, ma'am.
I want to tell you something right here now. Whenever my brothers were late for their curfew that my mom set down, you know what they would always try to tell her? I don't belong in a gang. I haven't committed any crimes. I don't do any drugs. So don't give me that, you know, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Because people who are obeying the law shouldn't be doing any of that.
Yes, ma'am.
So how old is your daughter?
She's just turned 3 in July 17th.
All right. So,
Yes, ma'am. And I have another one on the way due in November. Next week will be the mother of my child's 8th month.
all right. And is this the mother of the other child as well?
No, ma'am.
All right. So you're just procreating.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And now you understand where babies come from?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you can't support your children, you should not be having a lot of children. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So why were you smoking marijuana?
Coping mechanism.
All right. So it is very bad for a child to come to their grandmother's house smelling like marijuana.
Yes, ma'am.
So do you think it's appropriate for your children to smoke marijuana?
No, ma'am, not at all.
Well, that's what you did with your baby. Because if you're smoking marijuana around them, which obviously you were, because otherwise the baby wouldn't smell like marijuana, the baby's clothes wouldn't smell like marijuana, we would not be here.
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that the grandmother loves her grandchild
Yes, ma'am.
and wants what's best for her grandchild.
Yes, ma'am.
Wouldn't do anything to hurt her grandchild.
Most definitely. Yes, ma'am.
You've been doing things to hurt your grandchild. I mean, to hurt your child. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
So are you diagnosed mentally with anything?
ADHD, but that's all. That's no excuse. No.
No, there is not. You
Yes,
should
ma'am.
not be using marijuana. And
Yes,
the
ma'am.
court is not going to allow you to use marijuana in this court while you're on probation. It is illegal in Texas to use marijuana.
Yes, ma'am.
If I grant your application for deferred adjudication, and if you use marijuana while you're on probation, guess what? A motion to revoke is going to be filed and you're looking at life in prison.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
it's up to you to decide whether potentially going to prison for life is worth that. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So are you employed?
I will be as soon as I get out. That's no problem.
Have you been employed before?
Yes, ma'am.
Doing what?
Warehouse and construction, manual labor, irrigation, road work, Amazon warehouse.
All right. And how old are you?
I just turned 26 in July.
All right. And how far did you go in school?
I have my high school diploma and I have my associates in St. Philip's College.
And what?
Art.
And what are you planning on doing with this art degree?
Really want to own my own business, but it's steps to that. I still have to pick up the knowledge, but more is to
So
come.
how does, and you know, I think art is great. One of my brothers was great in art and still is great in art, but how does you going to get your art degree translate into, I want to own my own business? Is your art going to be connected to that?
Yes, ma'am. Starting cartoons, drawing magazines, trying to get it in the newspaper.
So what
Things like
steps
that.
are you going to take to do that?
Owning my own name, business logo, business account.
Okay.
Still learning and picking up the knowledge to do so.
All right. And how often were you using marijuana?
I say twice a week.
Nobody uses marijuana twice a week.
I get drug tested at my job, so
You You figured out when you could get a negative test?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And have you used anything other than marijuana?
Alcohol, but that's occasionally birthdays, holidays, Thanksgiving.
While you're on
Christmas.
probation, you're not allowed to drink alcohol. You understand?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. This is what the court will do. Court will sentence you to 10 years, deferred adjudication. I'm going to request parenting classes. And you're very lucky that the grandmother didn't want you to go to prison. So we're going to do parenting classes, 200 hours of community service restitution. If he enrolls or obtains a business certificate so you can better yourself and completes the parenting classes, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. So to satisfy those 200 hours of community service restitution, you can go out and do community service hours, or either you can better yourself. And bettering yourself would mean you take parenting classes and you get a certificate or something that shows me you're taking steps to accomplish in life what you want to accomplish.
Yes, ma'am.
There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. When's the last time you used marijuana?
5 months ago.
All right, so he should be clean. So when he's released, we're going to do a UA. If for some reason when he's released, it's positive for marijuana, start testing for levels.
And just to let you know, he's set on the DWI tomorrow. I'm not his lawyer on that, but it's a JSAT, so he won't get out today. It'll have to wait till tomorrow.
Okay. And then proof of employment within 45 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. I'm going to order no unsupervised contact with minors until you complete parenting classes. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So you can have contact with your child, but someone has to supervise. And if the grandmother,
It can't be her because there's a no contact.
well, there's a no contact under this case. If for some reason the grandmother wants to have contact and wants to be the person who supervises, just let probation and myself know, and I'll lift the no contact order.
Thank you, Judge.
We're going to do anger management. So no contact with Nora Ramos. Right. And this is supposed to run concurrent with County Court cause number 6966403. And there's to be, I'm going to follow the recommendation for the TAP evaluation, which is intensive outpatient treatment with probation. And there's to be weekly sober support meetings. And I'm going to want field visits 1 time per month for 4 months. And after that probation, if you think all is well and he no longer needs field visits, you all can do the field visits as you see appropriate. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Mr. Yarborough, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled trial court certification. Oh, just one moment. Let me see if they did this in here. Okay. All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled trial court certification of defendants' rights to appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. We can go off the record from here on out. Everything you do, there are 2 questions you should ask yourself. One, is the decision I'm about to make and what I'm about to do, could it potentially result in me going to prison for life? If the answer is yes, don't do it. If the answer is, it could, maybe it couldn't, don't do it. That whole thing that you're doing with your job where you know when they're testing you, so you're saying, well, I use marijuana on this day, not on this day, so I can get a negative test. Don't do that here, because it may not catch you the first time, but ultimately it's going to catch you. And then you know what's going to end up happening? Warrant's going to be issued for your arrest. You're either going to make bond or you're not. If you don't make bond, you're going to be at the jail. You're going to be brought over in orange. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And just as a side note, how tall are you?
I'm 6'6".
Okay. All right.
ma'am.
Thank you. All right. Do better.
You have a wonderful day. Thank you.
All right. You too. Thank you. Who's here on John Albert Sanchez?
I am, Your Honor. Ms. Mitchell has stepped out.
All right. We can wait for her to come back.
At your pleasure.
Sure. Lisa Pryor.
Yes, Judge. This is not you.
Hello, Ms. Pryor.
Good morning.
All right. So state, where are we on this case? Do you have all the discovery?
Yes, Judge.
Oh, you were on the right side. All right, state, were you able to tender an offer? All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 2-week plea deadline date, please? All right, we'll be back on October 12th.
Thank you, Judge.
On October 12th, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the offer. If you choose not to accept the offer, the court will not consider any pleas unless they're pleas open to the court or without good cause, or with good cause. You understand?
Yes,
All right, thanks for dressing appropriately for court. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form, then you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And counsel, Ms. Kramer, your client was late. She should not be late for court again.
I will let her know, Judge.
Thank you. All right, anyone else ready? Deputy Mejia, have you seen Ken Porsche? Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm going to make it work on him. All right, John Albert Sanchez. All right, so today the state is to make an offer. Has an offer been tendered?
Your Honor, I don't know that we have, defense counsel and I, we're still communicating. They have just this morning filed a motion with attachments that totals about, well, exactly 46 pages. And we were speaking, and there's a lot of specific items that I don't know if I can get, but we want to put our heads together to see if there's a way we can, because there's juvenile items, there's a large list of items. I still need to track down a forensic interview that took place in Atascosa County. I know they have made a copy for the state. I thought we had gotten it, but it's not in the file. And I think defense is requesting just a hearing to go over all of their discovery requests.
Your Honor, the motion is a motion to compel discovery. It is long, but the reason for its length is just documenting the requests. I think the original material on there is probably 3 pages. That's what we're asking for today. We have not received all the discovery.
All right, you all need to go over discovery. Right now.
But no, yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I understand.
All right.
Okay.
Are they ready on the video? The video purge?
Oh,
Yes. Do you know if the deputy was able to get in touch with them so they can zoom in? All right, I just saw her come in. All right, thank you. No, fine.
They do have an answer to give to the court.
Okay. So are they going to have the person here or no? We really need a subpoena.
I guess, Judge, I think that you have other remedies, but yeah, I mean, yeah. it's-
All right, I'll come forward. We're back on the record in 2022 CR 10642, State of Texas versus Jose Sanchez. All right. And Deputy Chief, what are the results of your inquiry?
Their HR department is denying them showing up on Zoom. And they said that because they were asked to do a task, they completed the task and they recorded all of the information on the ticket, which was then emailed. That's the only involvement that they have.
All right, well, if you will let them know, they can appear by Zoom or they can be subpoenaed, which means.
Should advise them of that, Your Honor.
All right.
Do you have any objection to me submitting this to the court? This is.
Actually, I was gonna, no, not at all. In fact, I was gonna submit that, Judge. There's an email chain that I think was.
All right, do you all want to remark it? And then I'll accept it.
Do you want to make it your exhibit or?
Joint exhibit.
I said, if they mark it and offer it into evidence, I'll accept it. If there is no objection.
No, Your Honor. In fact, I was gonna offer that.
All right, if you could do it as Defense Exhibit 1. Thank you for trying. I know it's not your fault.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, defense would offer Defense Exhibit 1. The state actually just provided to me. It's an email chain from August 14th through the present, correct?
August, it might be, I'm sorry, can I see it for a moment?
Sure. Well, yesterday, I guess the present was probably.
So it should, the earliest communication in this chain is going to be August 7th.
Okay.
Okay.
And is that, yes, and so we would offer that, Judge.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, Defense Exhibit number 1 is admitted. Is there any other questions for the Deputy Chief?
No, Your Honor, but if we could stay after she's excused, just so I can
Yes.
address the board on this.
I have just a couple of questions.
Yes.
So Deputy Chief, when you were speaking to the IT folks,
All right, just 1 second. Excuse me, if you all are behind the court reporter, if you all could move your conversation and move the inmates this way, that way it's not behind her. All right, you may continue.
did they tell you how far back that those videos are saved on the server from that particular camera?
They said when they started looking after our request to see if they could locate the videos only existed back to March 12th, 2023.
2023, okay. And the date of offense is in 2022.
That's correct.
Okay. And so have you made a diligent search for these videos once you were notified by us by the Bear County DA's office that we were looking for any additional videos?
Yes, sir, we did. Like I said, we reached out to our IT provider and requested their assistance in trying to recover any purged videos.
Okay, and so I've spoken to Ginger Leal, one of y'all's employees about, and she.
Oh, Hank, could you speak up?
Oh, yes, ma'am, sorry, Diana. When I spoke to Miss Leal, she looped you into that email chain, and so some of your emails and some of your efforts are reflected in that exhibit, that email chain, right?
That's correct.
And so could you just tell the judge kind of briefly what you did once we were looking for the videos?
I reached out to Barcom. I submitted a ticket, which is how we request assistance, and asked them to see if they could look through the Exact Vision server and find any video that may have been purged and see if it was recoverable on the date in question.
Okay, and could you describe how that server works just briefly to the judge? It's sort of, it's running, is that camera running 12 hours a day, 24 hours a day?
24 hours a day. That server, it operates not only the holding cell camera, but the camera inside the patrol room, the cameras in City Hall, and our parking lot and public works yard. So the server runs 24 hours a day. And so as new information comes in, or new video comes in, old video falls off.
And so it's your testimony that this thing is running. As it fills up, the old videos are removed to make room for the new videos.
They are purged from the system to make room. Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else that I forgot to ask you that you think it's important the judge to know?
No, sorry.
Is there anything else that I forgot to ask you that you feel like it's important for the judge to know?
No, sir.
I passed the witness, Judge.
Deputy Chief Pruitt, the description of how the server works that you just gave to the state, is that from your personal knowledge?
Yes.
Okay, so what training, background, experience do you have in technology or servers? And
I don't.
Okay, so how did you ascertain personally how that server works?
That's how it was explained to us when it was installed
So
in 2014.
okay, so that was my question. Your testimony you just gave is based on what somebody told you, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And who was that told you that?
It was 2014. I don't recall.
Okay, now, are you aware, and maybe I asked you this before, that the prosecutor, Mr. Wilkins here, upon his first request for video of the holding cell area, the response from your department was, there is no camera there. Are you aware of that?
No, sir. Where was that response, if I may ask?
Okay, well, I'm part of the state. I just wanted to know if you were. I just wanted to know if you were aware of that.
All right, everyone, please keep your voice up because everyone starts with their voice this level and then you trail down and lower your voice, and it makes it difficult for the court reporter to hear and for me to hear.
Certainly, I feel like I'm yelling in her ear.
No, you're not yelling.
Okay. So, so that wasn't true. If somebody told the state from your office that there was no video recording equipment in that area, no videos taken, that would not be the truth, correct?
That would be correct. There are videos that the cell and the patrol room are video recorded.
Okay. And why is it that you record videos there?
Primarily, it's an observation. Our dispatchers monitor the cameras, just like they monitor the City Hall cameras and the parking lot cameras in case there is a problem with a prisoner.
And those videos are saved, at least still accessible for some period of time.
That's correct.
And do sometimes defendants make confessions on those videos that you can then send to the prosecutor?
Our confessions are recorded on our body worn cameras.
Okay, if have somebody in a holding cell, it would, and they confess there, it would also be captured on the video above the holding cell, correct?
I suppose it would be the microphone is not a very good one.
In fact, that brings me to my next question. Is the device that takes the audio down the same device that records the video?
I do not know.
Okay, because there is still in existence audio from the day of Mr. Sanchez's arrest, just not the video, correct?
It's my understanding that some audio files were recovered, but they are almost incomprehensible. You can't understand what is being said.
I would agree. I'd try to can't hear anything. So that's, so you don't know if there's two separate recording.
No, sir, I do
devices.
not.
Okay, so we would probably be better off asking those people that we've spoken about
Well,
today. Correct?
Big State Electrical, from my understanding, Big State Electrical is the one that installed the exact vision. And that is part of Barcom's contention, is that they are not the subject matter experts on the exact vision.
Electrical companies install servers, but they don't understand how servers work, correct?
Not any more than I do, probably.
All right, okay. At this time, Judge, I don't have any further questions.
All right, any further questions?
No questions, Judge.
All right, I have a couple of questions. And counsel, I believe you'll be able to answer when the video was requested.
The video was first requested. Judge, let me put this file down. I've got a bunch of
Sure.
stuff.
I have June 22nd.
That sounds about right.
What date?
June 22nd.
And is that June 22nd of 2023?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and that's what I have on the docket sheet. Now, when was it purged? Do we know the date or not?
That's what the court was trying to find out. For some reason, we can't seem to get to the bottom of that. It's a very simple question.
And will the persons who are going to be subpoenaed, would they know when the video was purged?
No, ma'am, I've asked that question repeatedly, and they say there is absolutely no way to determine that because of the way it operates.
Okay.
My understanding, Judge, is when you first requested the video, they couldn't get anything before March 12th of 2023 off the server.
That's correct.
So it's not as if I don't think there was any on purpose erasing or keeping over or anything. I believe the way that's my understanding of the way the server works is it's kind of running all the time, 24 hours a day.
And I don't mean to be.
So we'll need to have that witness come in to testify to that. So the video records that we are seeking, and I say we, but that defense wants, is that the videos for prisoner cell 1 and 2?
Yes, sure. Holding cell. Yeah, I guess it's like a cage.
It's a holding cell.
Okay.
All right, holding cell 1 and 2. And you're stating that the video from holding cell 1 and 2 has been purged.
That's correct.
The audio, is there audio in holding cells 1 and 2?
My understanding that they're, you mean all the time?
Yes.
All the time, yes.
All right. The audio from holding cell 1 and 2, is that, do you still have that or was that purged?
It's my understanding they recovered some and it was given over to the court.
All right. And when you say recovered some, is it recovered some of Mr. Jose Sanchez?
It's hard to tell. ma'am, because
Interaction?
It's audio only, not video. And the audio, from what I understand, is you can't understand what's being said.
All right. No, I understand that. But the audio is it the audio that would have been playing or recording when Mr. Sanchez was in holding cells 1 and 2?
Was recovered, the audio that was recovered was during the time frame that we requested.
Okay. So the only thing that has been purged is not the audio, it's the video for holding cell 1 and 2.
From my understanding, it was all purged, but they were able to recover audio only.
Okay, no. I'm off the audio now. I'm back to video.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. So my understanding is, and I just want the record to be clear, the video from holding cells 1 and 2, when Mr. Sanchez was there, has been purged, destroyed, cannot be recovered.
That's correct. ma'am.
All right. And other than the video and holding cell 1 and 2, counsel, is there any other video that may have what you're looking for?
Your Honor, I was informed through this process that there is also a camera in the office adjacent to holding cell 1 and 2. I did not ask for that because I was not aware of it, and I will offer for the record, and maybe we can put this on the record, that the reason I wasn't is on my first request, I was told through the state by the Allen Heights Police Department that there was no recording devices, that they did not record in the court.
All right, Deputy Chief. Do you know whether or not the camera that's adjacent to holding cells 1 and 2, if there would still be a video available during the time that Mr. Sanchez was there, or has it also been purged?
I can say that it all operates on the same system. It would be my assumption that it was purged, but I can ask them to look.
All right, if you'll ask them to look into that, and then what we will do, the parties who are not here, we'll place them under subpoena and let them know they will not be allowed to appear by Zoom. They were given a chance to appear by Zoom, so they will have to come to Bexar County 187 District Court and appear in person.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is there anything else of this witness?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you so much for coming down. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Your Honor, if I could, because I don't want to, I think it's important for the future record, and I don't want to ask the prosecutor to be called. Can we agree that your first response from the Alamo Heights Police Department was that there was no recording?
Yeah, so, sorry, Judge.
Well, let me ask you this before he goes on the record. Is that in defense exhibit number 1? That's been tendered to me, the emails?
I believe.
So what the detective emailed back to me is the only video available is what was uploaded. The suspect was never interrogated.
All right. So is that in defense exhibit number 1, that conversation?
I don't know, Judge, because it was actually provided by the state. It's not, one of the things I was going to ask before we leave is that all emails concerning this subject matter with any member of the Alamo Heights Police Department or the city of Alamo Heights be turned over to the defense, because at this point, I think it's necessary to get to the bottom of this.
I don't think it's in here, Judge.
Okay. So if you'll get that email and then the court will review that. Now, with regards to the witnesses that need to be subpoenaed, when will they be subpoenaed?
I can do that this week, Judge. I've got to get my investigator going out. I don't mind doing it, Judge. This is not a civil case. I really believe they have an obligation to have that very simple question of how that server works. I've been doing this a long time. I've never had any agency not be able to answer that question.
No, I understand what you're saying, but they want their subpoena.
Sir, to answer your question, Judge, I will do that tomorrow. I can't do it today, Judge, but I'll do it tomorrow. And I'll
No,
get that
that's
to my
fine.
investigator.
What date would you like to come back?
May I just look at my calendar?
Yes. And we will get to the bottom of everything.
Judge, can I just print a copy of this email and send it? Or?
Yes. And if you'll make sure that he has a copy.
Your Honor, if we can, just so we have a couple weeks to get the investigator out and get maybe the 16th or the 17th.
All right, Ms. Fergus, can you recall this for the 3rd week of October?
Yes. Or anytime that week, that's fine.
All right, and those witnesses are to appear in person. Yes.
And Your Honor, as far as the emails, I know there's a lot of them. I don't think they're privileged. I don't know. I mean, I can bring a formal motion, but it might help for the record
Well,
if they could read it.
Here's the thing. The state will review it.
Okay.
And if it's something they feel like they should not give you, they will let the court know.
Okay, that's fine. I trust this prosecutor. I'm just trying.
Yes. 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 All right, Mr. Sanchez, we're going to come back on October 19th to finish up this hearing. And state is offering into evidence state's exhibit number 1. Any objections? It's an email.
No, Your Honor.
All right, state's exhibit number 1 is admitted.
Judge, for the record, I also emailed state's exhibit number 1, forward that to defense counsel in a couple months ago.
All right.
Yes.
All right, we'll see you all then.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Diana, here's this. Can you make sure I have this before we start the hearing on the 19th? I don't want. All right, Anthony Maciel. Anthony Maciel.
Yes.
Maciel. All right, Anthony Maciel. All right, we'll say that for last to call that for bond forfeiture. Christina Alamon. Christina Alamon. All right, and can you let Jose Manjares that we're going to recall this case for tomorrow at his attorney's request? Hi, good seeing you. Nicholas Borja or Borja. All right, probation, this is an application. Court is calling 2023 CR 6993, State of Texas versus Nicholas Rivera Borja. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Warren Wolf for Mr. Borja.
Are you Mr. Borja?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
We have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Borja, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of, I'm sorry. Oh, it's going to be one of those days already. I feel it. Mr. Borja, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
Mr. Borja, I'm showing you what's entitled court's admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged by indictment with possession of a controlled substance? Penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams. That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea, gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Borja, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, the state recommends deferred adjudication. They're asking for $57 restitution to SAPD for drug testing. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 5 years and that there be a TAP evaluation. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence to support the defendant's guilty plea?
Your Honor, I offer State's Exhibit 1 in the attachments.
No objection.
All right, state, you may continue to confer. Mr. Borja, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, he is a native of Guam, which is a U.S. territory. He's moved to Texas for the last 3 years. He's been actively working, currently employed at Hollingsworth the last 6 months, previously at J.B. Hunt. This is an aberration, and we ask that you follow the plea bargain. I asked him if he would test positive for any controlled substances today, and he said no. And I believe I explained to him the requirements of a drug-related probation, deferred classes, testing, and he understands them fully. And I believe he'll be able to successfully complete the terms of a deferred and even hopefully come in sooner and ask for early termination. I explained that to him as well.
All right. So do you have any criminal history?
Parole history?
I'm sorry?
You said parole history?
Criminal history.
No.
Have you ever been charged with any crime other than this?
No.
All right. When you're drug tested today, and you will get drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Negative.
All right. When's the last time you used?
That would be.
And that would be an illegal.
No. When's the last time you used drugs?
That would be a month before this happened.
So you're telling me you were riding around with drugs in your car and you hadn't used, and that officer is saying you had a lighter underneath your leg?
It was in my car.
Yes. So when's the last time you used drugs?
A month before.
I'm sorry?
A month before.
So you hadn't used
No,
drugs
the
that
lighter
day?
was for my cigarette.
I'm sorry?
The lighter was for my cigarette.
So you're saying that you have not used any drugs since a month before this incident?
So it's marijuana.
That's a drug. So when's the last time you used marijuana?
That would be the day of.
All right, so let me explain something to you. I'm trying to figure out what conditions to give you because I don't do cookie cutter conditions. Everybody doesn't get the same thing in this court because everybody's an individual. So we're going to start back over. I'm inclined to grant your application for deferred, but I need to know what type of candidate you would be on deferred. And if you have a drug or alcohol problem, I don't want to send you out in the world with you telling me you have a drug problem. I'm like, just do whatever. But if you tell me that you're going to test negative, I am going to test you. And if it ends up being positive, we're going to have a problem. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So when's the last time you used? And I'm just asking for honesty here because I'm trying to give you conditions on probation that will help you successfully complete your probation. That's my job. If you have a drug problem and you tell me you have a drug problem and I don't give you any help for that and you fail with drugs, that's on me. But if you are dishonest with me and you fail on drugs, that's 100% on you. So are you going to be positive today? Oh, no. Excuse me. Are you going to be positive today because you are getting a drug test today?
Yes.
What are you going to be positive for?
I don't know.
All right. Anything else?
That would be all.
All right.
Maybe alcohol.
All right. Alcohol. Anything else?
That would be all.
All right. Before we continue with your sentencing, I'm going to have him drug tested. And then we'll see where we are. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Probation. If we can get a drug test. Okay. And I see Veterans Treatment Court is here. Is the person here who's supposed to have been here this morning?
Yes, ma'am. I gave him a call. He had some issues on public transportation, but he is here now. We spoke to him a little bit earlier before he walked in.
All right. Which one is he? All right. If we can have him to come up. Sean Chrisman.
He just took off. Let me go see if he's in the hallway.
All right. Christina Alamon. All right, can I have Mr. Chrisman is here? Okay, let's bring him up. Come on up, Mr. Chrisman. Are you okay, Mr. Chrisman?
I just breathe heavily because of that. Oxygen comes in today. Thanks.
Okay. All right, Mr. Chrisman.
Ma'am.
You were asking for a transfer to California, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, which part in California?
We'll be in San Pedro.
All right, so Veterans Treatment Court are unable to find documentation that you were in the military. My whole thing for having them involved was so that you wouldn't be transferred to California and not having any support in place.
Correct. I have support from all my families out there. Plus I have support medically to pay for what I need via the insurance. On top of that, I have the ability to get rides. Like today I was late. I was supposed to report to you at 0900. The bus doesn't come for an hour, so I'm on the transit system.
No. This is what I'm telling you. Veterans Treatment Court is saying they have no
I haven't
documentation.
submitted any documentation. I talked to him yesterday.
Why haven't you submitted documents?
Well, I talked to him yesterday in the afternoon time. I had a fire in my house, which burned everything up, including two of my dogs. So I had to request that information. And I have to get,
So you're not living at that home anymore?
no, that was on Wasatch,
All right, so what's the address of the home that burned?
204 East Wasatch.
East what?
Wasatch, HUSI,
HAU.
HUISACHE. Wasatch. 782.
HUAS. E.
And it's in San Antonio, 78213 is in the,
No, it's HUASE.
yes,
That's the name of the street?
Wasatch, yeah. HUISACHE.
I'm getting HUISACHE, Your Honor.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
78213.
And it's 204?
203, 78203, Your Honor, what he just told me.
No, I mean the address 204.
204 East, yes, Your Honor.
And you're saying that's burned to the ground?
Yeah, it's a historical house. It's not burned to the ground, but it's still pretty much essentially non-livable.
Well, on Google Maps, I see it as an abandoned location.
Yeah,
I don't see it as burned down.
it is a bad location because you're not able to live in it and they can't tear it down because it's in a historical district. And it's over 100 years old.
No, what I'm saying is I don't see it burned at all. I just see it as abandoned on Google Maps. Maybe I'm wrong. Sometimes they don't update Google. So here's the thing. You cannot leave San Antonio until you are approved for transfer to California.
So how do I get that proof?
Yeah. So it's going to have to be through probation. Probation will send information to California and they will see if they will approve it. Between now and then, if you provide your military information.
It's coming in today.
Oh, the military information is coming in today?
Yeah, I had to ask my uncle to get it for me because if you order online, it takes months.
So, Your Honor, if I may interrupt, so we did speak ahead of time. I wanted to hear from Mr. Chrisman, myself, and I did bring a few staff members as well. We wanted to go through some of the questions we had. One of the biggest things was a DD 214 is something that everyone gets once they discharge the military, as you know, Your Honor. He told my assessors yesterday that he did not have one. That's when we found out about the fire, which we're very sorry that happened to him and his dogs.
Absolutely, I told you.
And that's where he informed me today that his uncle,
Yes, which
his uncle is going to email him a copy. I've asked when that would be today, and he stated at some point today because he had to be here right now.
Okay.
As I kind of explained yesterday, Your Honor, the biggest thing is the fact of the DD 214, Mr. Chrisman. We don't have you in the system. So that's why we're asking you all these questions. We don't have you in the military system.
I mean,
So that it could be wrong. It's the government. It's the government.
It's out of California. I don't know what you guys do, but it's coming from a gunnery sergeant and I can have a recommendation from a colonel in the letter.
No. This is what we're going to do. You say it's going to be in today, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So it will be in today.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you're set in this court on October 19th.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So all the information that they need should be with them before then. And then on October 19th, when you come back here, and I'm sure they'll be able to be here, we'll see where we are.
Trying to expedite the whole thing health wise. So if you like me submit medical records, if that's the whole point.
Oh, if you have it before October 19th, you can come in at any time and we'll call Veterans Treatment Court and let them know you are here.
Okay, but you stated the fact earlier that you can do the probation or, at least is my understanding, and or the Veterans Court. I just wanted to be expedited out to California as soon as possible for health reasons. So if it's faster to do the probation, I have no problem doing that.
No. Here's the thing. This is what we're going to do. You said that you will have that information today.
Yeah.
All right. If they get that information today and they talk to you and say, hey, we're already working on it. They have my email. They will email me and say it is done.
Yes, ma'am.
Then we'll do something different and it will be before October 19th. I am giving you till October 19th to get the information to them. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. You require me to do Veterans.
All right, Ms. Ferguson.
But I also have to write in and have a letter saying that I want to be in Veterans Court.
Ms. Ferguson, if you can give him a reset form, I know you've already done it before, but if you'll give him the reset form for October 19th. All right, and if you have that information before then, just let them know. They'll let me know and we'll put you on the docket before them. They will call you and say, we're good to go.
Okay, and why did just for my reference point, why did you mention the probation?
Because if you're going to be transferred to California,
Yeah.
California actually has a veterans treatment court and it will be a seamless transition. I am not sending you to California without some sort of treatment in place. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so what if I provide my own treatment?
Well, I tell you what, we're going to come back. You provide me documentation of that fact.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
All right, I appreciate your time.
You're so welcome. Thank you
have a
so much.
wonderful day.
All right, you too. Thank you so much for your service. Oh, thank you for blessing me. I appreciate that.
You always should be blessed.
Oh, thank you. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form for here, just so you'll have it. I know you've already been given a copy, but she'll give you another one. And as I
Appreciate that.
said, if you have everything worked out with them before the 19th, they will let me know. They will tell you and we'll be in court before then. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Can you tell me on Lee? Oh, we're done with that. Can you tell me on these two cases, are they PR bonds? Yes. Oh, okay. All right, I'll give that back to you. All right, whenever you all are ready on John Sanchez, let the court know. Renee Garza. All right, they're not, we're waiting for your attorney. All right. Could I see a prosecutor on its criminal trial division? Court is calling 2023 CR 7277, State of Texas versus Christina Alamon. This hearing was set at 9 a.m. It is now 11:09 a.m. Christina Alamon did not appear and has not appeared in the hallway. Is that correct, Deputy Laura?
Yes, Your Honor, I did make an announcement to her and she did not answer the in the hallway.
All right, State.
State's requesting a bond forfeiture.
All right, defense, have you had any contact with your client?
Not today. In the previously I have. This morning I called her number. It's disconnected. She's on a PR bond. I called the PR bond people, got the number that they had for her. And that's the same number that I have that is disconnected.
All right, State.
Person a judge warrant, judge, or what?
Judge's warrant.
Judge's warrant, that's fine.
All right, no problem. All right, the court will issue a judge's warrant, remand your client without bond. If your client makes an appearance, the court will reconsider.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. State, just one more. Let me see. Court is going to call 2023 CR 6947, State of Texas versus Lee Galindo. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett.
Defense.
Jonathan Rosso, defense, Your Honor.
This hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 11:10 a.m. Counsel, your client has not made an appearance.
Oh, no, he's present in the court, Your Honor.
Oh, where is he? Why is he not speaking up?
Judge, we're gonna replace Daniel Escobar, police state.
All right. All right, we can go off record. Why were you late?
Oh, I was here.
Okay, let me see what's going on. Oh, you were. My apologies. All right, so what is happening with this case?
Judge, we're gonna reach out to the complainants. There were two complainants listed in the police report that we haven't gotten in contact with yet. But I just sent out an email to my victim advocate to start reaching out to them.
All right. Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset? It's just a regular reset.
Yes, ma'am, I can do October 30th.
All right, we'll be back on October 30th.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for adjusting appropriately for court. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form, then you're excused. You're welcome. Christopher Thomas Robles. If you'll come forward. Are you all ready to proceed on this motion?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Why not? What's going on?
As a supplement, Judge, there's 3 new number ones. Need to go over all the discovery with Mr. Robles. He had a warrant, and when they executed the warrant, I believe it was some new offenses.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. I need to set this for a contested hearing. And if it ends up not being a contested, the court will accept it because I realize there are some discovery issues. State, how long will it take you to get the defense of discovery issues?
Is the DWI being done?
Yes.
Because there is a DWI
There's a.
evading, assault, and racing on a highway.
Yes, ma'am, and the evading, I think, those other 2 were ran into.
Yeah.
September 8th. I'm not sure, Judge, 30 days?
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you give me a contested hearing date in 30 days? And if you all have things before then and you wish to come before that date, just let the court know.
Yes, Your Honor.
26th of October.
All right, October 26th, what time?
Morning at 9.
All right, at 9 a.m.
Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you. You have a good day.
You too. Probation, Christopher Robles has been reset to October 26th for a contested motion to revoke. Are you all ready on your case? And is that John Sanchez?
Yes, Judge.
All right, just give me one moment.
Thank you.
Fallon Medina. Fallon Medina.
She's up straight, Your Honor.
All right. Sure. All right, if you'll come down. Are you all ready to proceed on the motion to revoke?
Yes, Judge.
Yes. All right, I need everyone to please whisper. Court is calling 2015 CR 12466, State of Texas versus Fallon Nicole Medina. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Defense?
Deirdre on this for Miss Fallon. Medina.
All right, are you Fallon Nicole Medina?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision and first amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review that document, those documents with your attorney, and did you understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Fallon Nicole Medina who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2015 CR 12466 for the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon on August 22nd, 2016 for a period of 10 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Violated condition number 5 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Fallon Nicole Medina, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of January through July 2023 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead that true or not true?
True.
Your Honor, state waives all the violations.
Any objection?
No objection.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court can find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes.
All right, the court does not have a trial court certification done.
I can get that for you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. It's right in the box. I can fill in the style of the case.
Sorry,
I said I can fill in the style of the case.
probation is checking on something too. They just.
Can we have a moment, Judge?
Sure.
We might just want to pause this real quick and come back to it.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Michael Ugu,
Ugu, yes.
Ugu. All right, what is happening with this case?
Judge, so the defense brought to our attention that there may be another piece of evidence that the state doesn't have that we would like to have.
Okay.
So we're gonna be reaching out to one of the parties involved in this case. We have reached out to the complainant, but we would reach out to the complainant, but haven't actually been able to talk to the complainant. So that'd be the next step too.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset?
October 30th.
All right, we'll come back on October 30th. Once you sign the reset form, you will be excused. Is there an immigration issue here or no?
No, yeah.
All right, just sign the reset form. Thanks for dressing appropriately for court.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Caroline, can I see the files on Melvina Kane? And if you can let me know if that's a PR bond or not. The other one would be Anthony Maciel. You said he's on his way.
Yeah, well, the defense attorney is asking for it to be recalled. But the defendant is on.
Okay, Gabriel Sosa. And Kevin Curiel. Okay.
The state in the case was set for October 23rd.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. It's still on the docket, but okay.
I don't know why. He came in on Monday or Tuesday.
Okay. Who is here on Ariel Reyes?
I am judging.
Yeah, he's.
All right, this is a motion to revoke. Court is calling 2023 CR 1750, State of Texas versus Ariel Giovanni Reyes. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett, Your Honor.
Defense?
Brent Hardy for Mr. Reyes.
And are you Mr. Reyes?
Yes, Mrs.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? I'm sorry, not sign it, but did you understand it? All right, are you the same Ariel Giovanni Reyes who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 1750 for the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon on April 3rd, 2023 for a period of 5 years? Is that you? State?
Yes, Your Honor. Violated condition number 1 on or about the 12th day of August 2023 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant Ariel Giovanni Reyes committed the offense of criminal mischief in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True. Your Honor, we'll waive the remaining violated conditions.
Any objections?
No objection, Judge.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there a proposed recommendation?
Yes, there is, Your Honor, an agreement, or actually an agreement between the state and defense, and that is to continue the individual on his, continuing on his deferred and to have him attend the Bear County ISF 2 program.
All right, is that the agreement?
It is, Judge.
All right, Mr. Reyes, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. State your name for the record.
I get Giovanni Reyes.
All right, why are you not completing probation successfully?
I didn't have even no time.
No, I mean, you had enough time to commit a criminal mischief. So my question is, why are you not doing what you need to do to complete probation? Why shouldn't I send you to prison?
I have no idea.
So what is your problem? What's going on in your life that you can't be successful?
I drove past the problem.
All right. And what is with the Spurs tattoo? Has he been evaluated for gang affiliation? Probation. Has Mr. Reyes been evaluated for gang affiliation or no? Have you ever been in a gang?
No, ma'am.
Well, what's up with the Spurs tattoo?
Almost
We're going to need a gang evaluation. I don't think, I know they're a great Spurs fan. I'm a great Saints fan, but I'm not painting the fleur de lis on my body. I'm not getting it, especially on the sternum area, because I understand that's painful. So when they do the gang evaluation, it's not going to come up as anything because they're going to do it.
Yes,
They're going to come up with something.
yes.
All right. So why are you being dishonest with the court? So again, we're back to the situation of why should I continue? If you want, I'll give you 3 years in the prison. You'll be done. You will have to serve half that time before you're eligible for parole. Whether they give you the parole at 3 years or not is completely up to the parole board. I have no control over that. So I can send you to prison for 3 years, or either you're about to be hit with some serious consequences for your actions, which one of them is going to be gang supervision. The other one is going to be ISF, cognitive and substance. And then that's going to be a TAP evaluation.
I take the 3 years.
All right. Court is going to find you guilty, revoke, sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's to be no contact with David Arguello. If you want the therapeutic community, they can help you with your drug problem. It doesn't increase the time that you're at the prison. All right, so we'll do therapeutic community. You're still going to have to ask for it, and they may not give it to you because of your gang affiliation. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled. Are you waiving your right to appeal? All right. I'm going to show you what's entitled trial court certification of defendants' rights to appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? All right. Because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is, and I'm sorry, there's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. All right, because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're going to have to do better. I understand that you have issues in your past, and I understand your affiliations, but you're going to have to get a handle on your drug problem. Otherwise, somebody you love is going to get notice that there is somebody who has OD'd, and somebody's going to have to come down and identify your body. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Judge, he has 155 days.
All right. Yeah, I'm giving him credit for any time that he's been in custody.
Very well, thank you.
You're welcome.
And Judge,
Yes.
oh, this is, no, I'm sorry, we're finished.
Yes.
This is unrelated to anything. I owe you an apology. I put together 2 cartons of eggs this morning and I was in a rush to get out of the house. And they're sitting on my counter. I knew I was going to be here.
Well, you know what's so funny about eggs? I didn't realize, because I have a lot of friends who raise chickens, they produce a lot of eggs.
Oh, you don't know. We give tons of eggs to the senior citizens center and they sell them and earn money.
I will tell you, there is nothing like fresh eggs.
I was also going to ask, when are you going back to Louisiana to your mom's?
I'm not sure. Maybe Thanksgiving. I don't know.
Well, let me know.
Okay.
Because I want to give your mom.
Okay.
And I wanted you to see this. I went to Colorado last week. And so I had to get up real early and I went out to chicken coop at about 4:30. This was what we did.
Oh, I don't need to see that. Show it to Deputy Laura.
It's a rat snake. They're beneficial, but this was big.
Yeah. All right. Are we ready on Fallon Medina?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. All right, we're back on the record in 2015, CR 12466, State of Texas versus Fallon Medina. All right, and I had already informed your client that by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true and grant the motion and sentence her up to 20 years in prison. Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, Judge, the proposal is SATIF and MRT with a MIC evaluation. We were informed by probation, that's why we kind of stepped away, that they review the cases on a case-by-case basis, so she may be rejected from SATIF. So want to make sure the court was aware.
All right, so why should I follow this agreement? She was given deferred adjudication by another judge for what it appears to be setting up some male to be beat up, robbed. So why she hasn't done, what has she done on probation? Why should I accept this agreement? Has she done anything?
She has, Your Honor. She's paid quite a bit of the fine. She did have some successful amount of time where she reported, and her tests weren't bad. Her drug and alcohol tests were not bad. It's only recently, well, I would say in the last couple of years, once her father died, that she has sort of, things took a turn, and she's probably, I think, still dealing with that trauma. She was telling me that she did finish school, and she plans on and would like to, if given the opportunity, be able to have a future in cosmetology, Your Honor. So we are asking that this court get her some drug and alcohol treatment through SATIF.
Probation? What has she done on probation? All right, probation, are you aware of this recommendation? Are you in agreement with this recommendation?
Verifying with the manager, and due to her offense, they're gonna have to screen her case, and she may or may not be accepted to that.
All right, will she be accepted to SAFE?
Yes.
All right. All right, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth? So
Yes,
help you
ma'am.
God. You can lower your hand. State your name for the record.
Fallon Nicole Medina.
All right, so why did you fall off the radar?
I was having some personal issues with my family, and my father passed away 2 years ago.
All right, why didn't you contact probation and tell them what your issues were?
I did tell them that I was having some issues, but I wasn't specific on what was going on.
All right, do you have any children?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
How many?
I have 6.
What are their ages?
My oldest is 19, my youngest is 10.
No, I need the ages. So you're 19.
They're not in my care though.
All right, none of them are?
No.
Were your rights terminated?
No, I have joint custody, but my baby dad has them.
With who?
The father.
Okay. All right, court will deny the motion, alternate amend conditions to include She'll be evaluated for SATF. If SATF doesn't accept her, she's going to safety.
Okay, yeah, and she's gonna be evaluated for that as well, because I think she's only had one positive UA.
Okay. And I'm going to want the MRT, MIC evaluation. And if she is not eligible for SATF or SAFE, I want her brought back to court before she's released from custody, and we'll figure out something else.
Yes.
I'm going to want no unsupervised contact with minors. All right, is there anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Medina, is there anything else you need from the court?
No, ma'am.
All right, and this, we're off the record. In this court, communication is key. If there's something going on in your life, you need to ask probation, talk to them. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
From here on out, you're looking at potentially 20 years if you don't do well on this probation. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, when were you born? In the 80s?
I was born 1988.
I knew, and you want to know how I knew you were born in the 80s?
How's that?
Because your first name is Fallon. Fallon, if you know, is from Dynasty. And so there you go. All right, do better, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do we have the test results on Borja?
No, Your Honor, he-
Oh, okay.
That's two references to eighties.
Oh, yeah, I'm telling you. Jesus Perez. Are you all ready?
Yes.
All right, could I see the prosecutor on Jesus Perez? All right, court is calling 2022 CR 3531W, State of Texas versus Jesus Perez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense?
Howdy, Joe Stenberg.
And are you Jesus Perez?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled motion to revoke community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Jesus Perez who was placed on community supervision for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 to 4 grams on April 12, 2022 for a term of 6 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor. Violated condition number 4 in Bear County, Texas. The defendant, Jesus Perez, did then and there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of June and July 2023 in violation condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
And Your Honor, we'll waive the remaining violated conditions.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 6 years in prison and up to $1,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. It is to deny the motion to revoke and continue him on his probation and to have him mental.
Counsel, you said to deny and to revoke.
I did, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Deny the revoke, okay. So deny the motion, Your Honor, sorry about that. Continue him on his probation and have him mental health screening and follow up with the recommendations.
All right, is that the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Perez, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Jesus Perez.
All right, do you have any mental health conditions?
Yes,
And what are they?
just bipolar.
Okay. All right, the court will deny the motion, alternate amend conditions to include MIC myoph evaluation. And that's to be done in custody. All right, is there anything else from either side?
Not in the state, Your Honor.
No, do you have any idea how long that takes?
If you speak with probation, they'll be able to tell you.
Right.
All right, Mr. Perez, from here, we're off the record. From here on out, you're going to have to do better. You need to communicate with probation. And if you're supposed to be on medications, I know sometimes medications cause side effects. If there are side effects, you need to let the doctor know so maybe they can put you on something else. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. Tyree Ranford. Probation, this is an application with the sentencing to take place on November 9th. Court is calling 2023 CR 6906, State of Texas versus Tyree Joseph Ranford. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense?
The attorney of record is Monica Guerrero. Joseph Stason standing in. I work for Ms. Guerrero. Mr. Ranford, would you give this judge permission for me to do the plea in place of Ms. Guerrero?
Yes, sir.
All right. Counsel, you received all the discovery and did you review those with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Ranford, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred. Are you applying for deferred or regular?
We are doing both.
All right. Showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
Mr. Ranford, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams. Because the state is proceeding on the repeater paragraph, if the repeater paragraph is found to be true by the court, then your range of punishment will be anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe so, Your Honor.
Mr. Ranford, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 6 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. The state is silent on your application. This will run concurrent with County Court 12 cause number 6988064. State will take in consideration 707108, NIMAG number 709145722 670, grand jury number 804578. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
It is, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
To the repeat enhancement allegation, how do you plead? True or not true?
Yeah, true.
I'm sorry?
True.
State any evidence.
Yes, Your Honor. State exhibit number 1 with all of its attachments.
No objection, Your Honor.
States you can continue to confer.
Thank you.
Showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. Court has reviewed the same. The court will find that there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. The court will find the enhancement true based upon your plea of true and based upon states exhibits 1 and attachments. The court will order a PSI. Is there a need for a TAP evaluation?
We would request a tap also.
All right. Is there any mental health issues?
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
Any mental health issues? All right, then the court will request a PSI and TAP evaluation. This will come back on November 9th. On November 9th, I'll make a decision on your application based upon the PSI report and any other evidence that's presented. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Clarissa Shepherd. All right, where are we on this case?
Oh, Judge, sorry. We're reviewing this case for PTE, Judge. If we could get a short reset. There has been an affidavit of non-prosecution, but I haven't seen it yet. It hasn't been filed yet. So we just like a short reset for the defense attorney to be able to.
How much time are you asking for?
Your Honor, it's first setting. My request would be for a standard 30-day, but it's up to the court.
All right, you all are saying a short setting.
No, it's fine. The short setting is fine, Your Honor. I just managing calendar wise, 30 days always works.
Okay. So,
Yes, ma'am. 30 days is great.
all right, so at that 30-day mark, you all need to know whether or not this is going to be a PTD or not.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Ferguson, could you give me a 30-day reset? All right, Halloween. All right, we'll see you back then. Thanks for dressing appropriately for court.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Just get the reset form, then you're excused.
Judge, may I have approach on that matter?
Sure. You're welcome. All right, Gabriel Sosa. Could I have a prosecutor, please? Court is calling 2023 CR 7282, State of Texas versus Gabriel Antonio Sosa. State, if you could announce.
Hank Wilkins from the state.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 11:44 a.m. The defendant has not made an appearance. And just 1 second, deputy is calling out in the courtroom. Deputy Laura, did you make an announcement?
Yes, Your Honor, there's one.
All right, state.
Your Honor, we request bond forfeiture.
All right, the court will issue a judge's warrant and remand the defendant without bond. If the defendant makes an appearance, the court will reconsider.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All right, thank you. All right, who's here on Rolando Valdez?
The case I approached you on yesterday, that the client had the vehicle towed to Smart Start.
Yes.
Smart Start will not verify to me that the vehicle is inoperable. They said that that's not their job. In
All right.
addition, I can't get a hold of anyone at Smart Start to even verify the vehicle is at that location.
All right, you want to speak to the state about this?
Sure.
All right,
Can I see the motion, Judge?
sure.
And I want to come see you.
Okay, no problem. And what we'll do is,
Sorry, Judge.
Kelly Piddle, if you need a reset on that, and we'll have a hearing on the violation report.
Let me talk to you.
All right, John Albert Sanchez.
Yes, Your Honor. Will you approach?
Yes.
Okay, Judge, we went and we went over everything. There are quite a bit more items. There are a couple things that we would seek the court's guidance on.
All right, what is outstanding that you don't need the court's guidance on?
So part of this case originated in Pleasanton.
Mhm.
And I have been able to secure the reports from Pleasanton. However, Mr. Todd is saying that there should also be some interviews and other video that I need to, I guess, reach out to Pleasanton and have them just bring me their case files.
So are they gonna bring the case file?
I need to, I'm sure they will. Once I find out.
If they do not, do a subpoena, deuces, take them. All right, so
that is something that I should be able to get. There is an outstanding cell phone download. The last time I checked, PD had not even, they weren't going to download the phone. However, I did reach out to see, I believe the password's been provided. So I think it's one that if, given that we have the password, it could be a quick download. I haven't heard back from the detective.
do you want that cell phone download?
We do, Your Honor, and
All right, so the cell phone needs to be downloaded. So there's no, do they think they should? They want it. All right.
Okay, so that can be done. There's some medical records that we had, I believe subpoenaed back in August, but I need to follow up on those.
What medical records?
Yeah, the victim, it's one of those situations where the victim went to one hospital and then they told her, no, you need to go to CHOSA. So it's really just the originating hospital records, which shouldn't be much. And then just following up on body cam for officers.
Okay, so just so everybody know, since February 14th, Valentine's Day, 2023, we've been dealing with the phone records, DNA and CPS.
DNA and CPS, I believe.
DNA and CPS have been provided.
Yes.
All right, but we've been dealing with phone records since February 14th, 2023.
correct, Your Honor.
So I'm going to give you all a reset date, discovery, and a plea deadline date. You all need to confer off docket. I'm not going to do any further resets for discovery. What happens at trial will happen at trial. If something needs to be excluded, it will be excluded.
And Judge, may I speak to that? I appreciate that. The struggle in this case is we've done our investigation over the last 14 months. Like the cell phone, for instance, we believe that's mitigating. So what's said is there will be certain records on the cell phone.
Oh, no. Here's the thing. I've already told them they need to download that for you. If it's not downloaded, we're going to have issues.
And I just want the judge to be aware that if that's just one example, many of these things we think to exclude it, the judge would be excluding mitigating evidence, and we'll erase that issue, but exclusion doesn't help us, and we can't.
Well, this is what I'm telling everybody. Everybody, when you don't receive discovery, if you don't just receive discovery, people need to start filing motions. And motions for whatever consequences for not having discovery. But what I'm telling everybody, I'm giving you a reset date. This is the last reset date for discovery. This is the last reset date for a plea deadline date. This is it. You all need to confer off docket. So I'm giving y'all 45 days. And if people need to subpoena a police department and do a subpoena, Dukas take them, you can do that. All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 45-day reset on John Sanchez.
Did you want to address the juvenile?
Judge, there are juvenile records that Ms. Mitchell has, and I have conferred on. It's not Ms. Mitchell's position per se, that the district attorney's office position is that we will get no access to the juvenile records.
Subpoena whatever you need to subpoena. If somebody wants to file a motion to watch that subpoena, they can do that.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
November 14th.
All right, we're coming back on November 14th.
And we'd be excused once everything's signed.
Yes, thank you. It's always good seeing you.
It's good to see you. Judge.
All right, thanks for dressing appropriately for court.
You're welcome, man. Thank you.
Yeah, I would just show this. These are the areas. This is the three areas you would like blacked out. And however she wants us to report that. It might just be like that attached.
I don't.
All right, Dwayne Hardaway, can I see a prosecutor, please? Court is calling 2023 CR 7210 and 2023 CR 7211. State of Texas versus Dwayne Mandel Hardaway. Could I have the state announced?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 11:53 a.m. The defendant has not made an appearance in court. Defense attorney is not present as well. Deputy Laura,
Yes, Your Honor.
any announcements?
I made an announcement. There's no Dwayne Hardaway in the following, Your Honor. There's no answer.
State,
Your Honor, state asked for a judge's warrant.
it'll be a bond
Bond
forfeiture.
forfeiture.
That's okay.
Good guess there, Hank.
It's a 50% chance, right?
Yeah, the 50 chance that he chose wrong.
But sometimes I get asked for a second bond just to show we're serious.
Yeah. So in each case, the court will grant a bond forfeiture, remand the defendant without bond. If the defendant makes an appearance, the court will reconsider.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, Rolando Valadez. Yes.
Judge, we conferred, we've come up with an agreed order that we put on the motion that's inside the file.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, Judge. I don't know if you see my,
Yes, I see your scribble.
sorry, just a non-ownership and then also non-driving.
He should be coming in today, Judge, to do the affidavit of non-driving. The non-ownership, I don't know how much time you want to give us to get that accomplished. I don't know how quickly.
Well, I mean, the device is not going to be removed until he provides an affidavit of non-ownership and an affidavit of non-driving.
Okay. Need a truck. Probably improper for me to buy my client's truck, right? Little payment. So in relation to the violation report, does the court want him to pay to calibrate? Will he get that accomplished?
Yes, he's going to have to do that until he
Until-
provides this other information.
She chooses not to. She's my girl.
And I have a 5-year-old, so that works.
This is.
All right, here we are. And let's see what it is. Mr. Borja, you need to provide the court with the UA. Do you understand? We will be here all day until you provide that UA. Oh, he's ready. Whenever, okay. Thank you. Here. Thank you. Here we go. All right, can I see the files on those other cases that we still have pending? Ah. All right, everyone, on Mr. Hardaway. We're going to go on the record. The court is going to recall the bond forfeiture. I've just been informed that he has been arrested, so we need to have him brought over. So in 2023 CR 7210 and 2023 CR 7211, State of Texas versus Dwayne Hardaway. Court will recall the bond forfeiture. The court was informed that the defendant is already in custody. Okay. And what date do we want to call this back, Ms. Ferguson? All right, and we'll recall it next Thursday. Okay, this is. Okay, and David Hernandez, I need a setting for that. He's awaiting a sanity eval.
November.
All right, what date do you want it?
30th.
Okay. And Norma, on all these cases I'm about to call, where the attorneys are not here, you need to inform Matt, and they need to be here on the dates that I'm about to give.
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me just update this real quick.
Roland Diaz. On that one, Norma, recall it for next week. Yeah, I'm getting there.
Oh.
All right.
We're going on the docket. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm just going in order the files we're given.
Okay.
So we're gonna do Roland Diaz. Yes. And have someone from Mac here. And Deputy Laura, if you'll let the inmates know.
Yes.
Thomas Blinko. Let me see what page he is on. All right, thank you. All right, that's a bond setting. That's on the attorney.
No, that's a motion for new trial, but I haven't reversed it yet, because we need to set a bond on him. So he needs to come in.
Yes.
You said it last week as well.
All right, so we're going to reset it again for the 5th. And again, have someone from Mac here. But I think the state said they were going to dismiss the case. So if they would just come in, ask for the motion for due trial, then dismiss it, we would be done. So we're going to be recalling it for 10/5. And that's on Blinko. And that's a different division from you all. Laura Gallegos. The 5th. And for those persons who are in custody, we'll also see if they want new attorneys. All right, David Garcia. We'll recall it for the 5th. Courtney Kretzer, if you'll come forward. I think we already,
You had reset me Monday because he
Yes.
wasn't here, but he came.
Yes.
He didn't talk to me at all.
all right, so we're gonna bring you back. Is he court appointed?
Yes.
All right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring you back on October 5th. If he's not here and you wish to request a new attorney, you can.
Okay. thank
Okay,
you.
she'll give you a reset form, then your excuse.
Yeah.
You can have a seat. I'll call you up in a few minutes. And I can text Tony to come back.
Okay. And then we have Thomas Polly. Bring that one back on the 5th. Derek Reyes. Hello. All right, you're supposed to be here for a discovery compliance. We're going to call you back on October 5th. Just once they'll call you up for a reset form, okay?
Okay, no problem.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. And then we have Terrence Scott. And we'll call that back on the 5th. All right, and Anthony Maciel didn't show, correct?
Correct.
Is it a PR bond?
What was that? Keith?
It's 2023 CR 7209.
No, charity bond.
All right, court is going to call 2023 CR 7209, State of Texas versus Anthony Ralph Maciel. Could I have parties announced? Well, state announced for the record.
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. and it's now 12:09 p.m. The defendant has not made an appearance. Deputy Lord, did you make an announcement?
Yes, sir. And there's no answer.
All right, state.
Your Honor, state asked for a bond forfeiture.
All right, that will be granted. He will be remanded without bond. If he makes an appearance, the court will reconsider.
Thanks, Judge.
You're welcome. Okay. All right. Melvina Kane.
She did not come in.
All right, Norma, on Melvina Kane, we're going to recall this for tomorrow, and if you'll let the attorney know that he needs to provide proof of hospitalization. All right, on Renee Garza, recall that for the 5th. So we're ready, and this is the last case, Mr. Nicholas Borja. All right, Mr. Borja coming up. Where's his attorney? Oh, there he is. And those are all the cases, correct? All right, we're back on the record in 2023 CR 6993, State of Texas versus Nicholas Borja. My understanding, you completed the UA?
Yes.
All right.
He was having some trouble, Judge. He was nervous. It took a while.
Oh, that's okay. It happens. Oh, what are the results?
Positive for meth.
All right. So you didn't mention the meth to the court. So how often are you using meth?
It was in the form.
And you're still under oath. How often are you using meth?
Well, I did that like a couple days ago.
Okay, you need to speak up. I'm
I
sorry.
did that a couple days ago.
All right. So how often do you use?
I'd say weekly.
All right. Why were you dishonest with me? I'm just trying to give you the help you need. I already told you that I was inclined to grant your application. If I send you out in the world and you have a meth problem and I don't give you help for that, you're going to be right back here on a motion to revoke because meth is illegal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do?
I work at Hollingsworth. We package board parts.
Okay. How long have you been doing that?
6 months.
All right. Do they drug test?
Yes.
Okay. And you're passing their drug test? Okay. Do you live with anyone or do you live by yourself?
I stay with a family friend.
All right. Do you have any children?
No.
How far did you go in school?
High school.
What are you planning on doing with the rest of your life?
Well, I was planning on moving to Florida, but the rest of my life, I don't know yet. Still
Well,
figuring that out.
you say planning to move to Florida. Do you have family in Florida? Or that's just a dream.
I have family,
Who's your family in Florida?
my brother.
All right, have you talked to your brother? Does your brother want you in Florida with him?
Yes,
All right, what part of Florida?
Sarasota.
What county is that?
I'm not too sure.
See, part of getting ready to move to a place, you got to know what county or parish it is, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is what the court will do. Court will sentence you to 4 years deferred adjudication, $0 fine, $57 restitution to SAPD for drug testing, transfer to Sarasota, Florida. I'll have to look up to see what county that is. You are not transferred and you cannot go to Florida until the transfer is actually granted. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Proof of employment within 30 days. There should be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. I'm going to want 90 sober meetings in 90 days. A TAP evaluation. We'll follow the recommendations of TAP. If TAP recommends inpatient treatment, we'll start with intensive outpatient treatment. If it recommends intensive outpatient treatment, we'll start with outpatient treatment. And regular UAs. And I say regular UAs, I want UAs on him once a month, but I want them to be random once a month. Okay. Oh, then I guess I should have said random monthly UAs. That makes it easy, right? So we'll do random monthly UAs because I think he is able to beat the test at his job. So we're going to do field visits 1 time per month until transfer. There should be no unsupervised contact with minors. And I'm putting that down because until you're clean and sober, you should not be around minors. You understand?
Yes.
All right. Well, you can be around minors, but there has to be an adult supervision. Once you're clean and sober, and that's been brought to my attention, then that may change. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Probation. Is there anything else he needs? All right. Is there anything you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am.
You sure? Any mental health issues that you need addressed through probation or anything of that nature? Any trauma?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. From here on out, everything that you do, you need to ask yourself 2 questions. 1, is this something that could result in me going to prison for 20 years? If the answer is yes, don't do it. If the answer is maybe, don't do it. And the next time you're before a judge or before me, when somebody is trying to help you and you think they're trying to help you, you need to be honest with them, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, guys, we are done for today. It is 12:17. You're welcome.
Oh, you're done, Judge, but can I approach? Just to sign an order. State and I agreed on it a couple days ago. We were waiting for the maps.
Oh, okay, I remember this.
And I think they just now got it.
All right, y'all want to write in what it is? Y'all just provided maps.
Okay.